There he is. There's Mikey T from Mike's Sportsbook, Michigan's premier sports betting hotline with tips, analysis, and predictions. That's right, here they are. We woke up Sunday, May 18th, recapping all the action that happened on Saturday. The Preakness Stakes. Journalism has a late surge down the stretch, and he gets up for the victory. 2-9-7-1 ends up being the superfecta. Journalism, the 2-horse, Gosker, the 9-horse, and then Sandman, the 7. 2-9-7 ends up the trifecta. Mikey T, Journalism. Also, we've got baseball action that went down on Saturday, and we had some hockey action. Let's just recap everything and see where Mikey T stood. Well, on Saturday, we had a 5-star lock, that's right, in the Big Apple. We went with the Mets to take down my pinstripes. That's right, I was betting with the wallet, not the heart. The 5-star lock comes out of the parlor, take the Mets over the Yankees, and we get the victory, 3-2, people. Unfortunately, in Canada, the Tigers fall to the Blue Jays 2-1. Washington's too much for Baltimore at Camden Yards. They get it done 10-6. Cubs outlast the White Sox 7-3 at Wrigley. Tampa shuts out Miami 4-0. Texas is too much for Houston. In the Lone Star State, they get the job done 5-1. St. Louis blanks Kansas City 1-0. And Boston outlasts Atlanta at Fenway 7-6. Philadelphia is too much for Pittsburgh. They get the victory 5-2. The Twins on an unbelievable run. They've won 12 in a row. They take down the Milwaukee Brewers 7-0. Colorado outslugs Arizona. They get the job done 14-12. San Diego beats Seattle beats San Diego 4-1. They've won 2 games in a row from the Padres. San Fran gets the victory 1-0 over the A's. Angels too much for the Dodgers in LA. They get the victory 11-9. Hello, late night with Mikey T. After the first 5-star lock with the Mets beating the Yankees, we go late night with Mikey T, and we have the Dallas Stars over the Winnipeg Jets. They close out the series, and they get the victory 2-1, people. Mikey T, the Sportsbook. Tips, analysis, and predictions coming to you every season, every day, with winners. We've got winners on the daily hitting upwards of 67%. If you're new to the station, please like and subscribe. In the description, hit the Discord. You'll get over to the community lounge and you'll voice chat with Mikey T and the other players about the sporting issues of the day. Putting a smile on your pocket, money in your pocket, smile on your face, changing people's lives. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. How does Mikey T do it? Study, know your material, talk less, listen more. We've got winners. Scared money never wins. You got to maintain that bankroll. Once you have the bankroll, you can keep going further and further and further. You don't have a bankroll, everything comes to an end. Staying focused, knowing your material, and not changing your mind. Don't be listening to outside disturbances. Don't be changing your bet. Do you. Stay focused. Sports betting is $1 billion a year industry. Might as well get your piece of it. Get your piece of the pie, people. Tips, analysis, and predictions. Sports betting, it's $1 billion a year industry. There's plenty to go around. You just have to study, pick out your games, and move forward. There was 15 baseball games going on today for Sunday, May 19th. 15 baseball games. These series, winners never quit and quitters never win. Basketball, Game 7 today, Denver at OKC. Game 7 in the hockey, Toronto and Florida square off in Canada for Game 7. Toronto Maple Leafs looking to advance. OKC looking to advance. There's matchups today, people, in the MLB where I've been preaching that the home team does not get swept 80% of the time. If you haven't been following, then tune into this little strategy. I've been saying after several years, approximately 10 years of research, it's been handed down that the home team in Major League Baseball will not get swept. And it's proved to be true this season, winning at a high rate. Put it to the test today, Mikey T. We've got 5 games where the home team is on the verge of being swept. Well, let's see how we do at the end of Sunday with these 5 games. First game is Baltimore is at home against Washington, and they're on the verge of being swept. Baltimore Orioles are a play today. Second game, St. Louis at Kansas City. St. Louis has won the first 2 games. Kansas City today will need to avoid that sweep. The next game, the Brewers at home against the Twins. The Twins have shut the Brewers out the first 2 games. They look to sweep them today. Milwaukee is a play at home against the Twins. The Dodgers, they've dropped the first 2 games at home to the Angels. They got a stud on the mound in Anthony Gonsolin today. Dodgers might be a play for you to avoid that sweep. Last game, the Padres are at home against Seattle. Seattle won the first 2 games. Padres look to avoid the sweep and get a victory today, with King on the mound going against Wu. So we've got them games. The Orioles, Kansas City, Milwaukee, the Dodgers, and the Padres are 5 games today. 5, count them, of the teams to avoid being swept. Home team will not get swept 80% of the time. Let's just see how we do today at the end of the day. We've got MLB action, NBA playoff action, NHL Stanley Cup playoff action. Moving forward, people, sunny afternoon this Sunday, May 19th, and it is chilly. Michigan's been having some crazy weather. One day it's hot and humid, the next day it's cold and chilly, the next day it's stormy, the next day it's tornado-filled weather. Mikey T at the Sportsbook, hunkering down, staying focused, maintaining the bay roll, not listening to outside disturbances, definitely not greedy, definitely not selfish. We cross our T's and dot our I's. Yankees today against the Mets. Go Yankees. I stole one at the Big Apple yesterday. I hit the Mets. And then late night last night with Mikey T, I capitalized on my Dallas Stars to get it done over Winnipeg. My goaltender, Dallas, I noticed in the playoffs that he had never lost 2 games in a row during this playoff run. He would win, he would lose. He would win 2, he would lose. He would lose 1, then he'd come back with a win. I stayed focused and I went with the Stars last night. And we get 2 victories out of the parlor, 5-star locks, putting smiles on the players' faces and putting money in people's pockets. That's right. Know your material. You've got to study. UFC cage fight last night. Gilbert Burns gets destroyed by Michael Morales. Knockout. Sports betting's $1 billion a year industry, people. You just got to stay focused, maintain that bankroll, and take into account that these professional athletes are just athletes that are getting paid, overpaid, and then we have to throw in cheating into this equation. Not only are we dealing with injuries and travel and coaching changes and player portals, high salaries, people wanting to take time off. We take into consideration the cheating that goes involved with this sports betting. you can see as a spectator from the sidelines, whether it's from the hard court, from the diamond, to the football field, to the ice arena. You're scratching your head. You're wondering, why did they do that? Why did he call a timeout? Why did they make that play? Why did he change that play? Why did he shoot the ball? Why didn't they run out the clock? Why didn't they foul? Why didn't he try to lay down a bunt? Why didn't he sacrifice him? Why didn't he steal that base? Why did he hit? Why did he swing at that? We second guess ourselves. Well, the cheating comes into play with sports betting. It's $1 billion a year industry, and since they've legalized sports betting, Michigan is leading the country in online gambling and online gaming. And it just seems that these athletes, once they get to the top of the mountain, their progress, it winds down. They're not hungry anymore. It seems to not try anymore. Or it seems that they'll pick and choose when they try. Mikey T here at the Sports Book. We study, we know our material, and we handicap the games. We can't bet every game, and we can't win every game. But what we do is we strive for excellence, and we stay focused. Study these games, break them down, strategize, get a select few games under our hat that we're interested in, focus, stay diligent, and fire. Scared money will never win. We talk about the games before the games happen, and then the next day following, we'll talk about the recap. Mikey T's hitting upwards of 67%, putting a smile on your face and putting money in your pocket. We win, but we lose, and we'll build these streaks. And when these streaks meet, winning and losing, it's chaos, it's chaotic. All we can do is study and put 100% effort into hitting these games. We'll come up with the wins and we'll find some losers, but staying focused is what we do at the Sports Book. It's a hotline. And when you underline hotline, what is a hotline? What's a tip? You call me and I tell you my picks. I tell you my opinions. I tell you why I have my opinions. I tell you why I've got this pick. And you fire on it and it hits. They're not doing it out east, out west, down south, or up north. They're doing it right here at the Sports Book. I've got material. I've got my pen. I've got my notes. I've got my study material. Teams charting these games. Who's won, who's lost. They come into town for a 3-game series. They split the first 2. It's up in the air for game 3. They come in town for a 4-game series. The home team's won the first 3 games. That don't mean the home team's going to win the 4th game. They come in town for a 3-game series. The visiting team's won the first 2 games. Home team's going to win that 3rd game, people. Major League Baseball is a 162-game season long. There's plenty enough to go around. We got them games today. Sunday, we've got Denver traveling to OKC. Jokic, they got a championship pedigree in Denver. They're going up against an inexperienced, younger team in OKC. Denver and those points look pretty tasty. 8.5 points, 9.5 points, whatever you find that line at. OKC might get the victory, might. But the 9.5, 8.5, wherever that line may fall, I think I like Denver and the points today. Game 7 in Toronto. I got to go with the Maple Leafs at home in Canada to take care of Florida in advance. So we got 2 Game 7s. We got 15 baseball games. We got 5 MLB teams on the verge of being swept. Baltimore, Kansas City, Milwaukee, Dodgers, and San Diego. Those are 5 games and 5 games to tune into. Pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, pick 5. Decide which is you. Decide which is best for you. I can lead you to these facts and statistics. I can't make anybody do anything. All I can do is when we get to that dead end, I've provided you with the most information that will allow you to make the right move. Right, we go off the cliff, and left, we get the win. Listen, stay focused, and Mikey T will put money and smiles in your face. Let's get it today, Mike. Let's get it today, people. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Ring 'em up and lay 'em down. Run, run, run. You guys have a great day. Stay focused. Go Yankees over the Mets. Go Tigers over the Blue Jays. Let's get the Dodgers home over the Angels. Let's Cubbies. Let's continue over the White Sox. Stay focused. Stay happy. And we'll see you soon. Have a great day. And Mikey T is always with you. Cha-ching.